When death comes upon me like an eviction notice, leaving my soul without a home, I'll be sure to haunt your kitchen cabinets with a touch of that graveyard magic.
This is the story of a 16-year-old girl in the Philippines who was found in the middle of a field with the skin of her face peeled off with scissors. Was a cult involved? This is exactly what authorities had first thought because they did not think it could have been the work of only one man. As you can already assume on this video, viewer discretion is advised. Hello, my name is Holly. So if you haven't fled, welcome to the Murder She Shed, the place where we honor the dead right from my little she shed. Alrighty then, go snuggle in bed while I tell you a true crime story that will fill your head with dread. But first, go right ahead and smash that subscribe button. You know you wanna, you should just do that right now before you forget. We don't want you to forget because I will bring you rarely told true crime all the time right here in my she shed. Alright, let me begin by taking you to Lapu-Lapu City, Philippines. This city is one of the top tourist destinations in the region as it's home to white sand beaches and breathtaking island views. The crime rate is very low in this urban city. And so when Christine Silawan was found dead, it shocked the community because of the brutality of her murder. Christine was a 9th grade student at Maribago National High School. She was known as a very quiet but kind girl born on March 26, 2002. She served as a church collector at Sacred Heart Parish Church on Sunday, March 10, 2019, just 2 weeks before her 17th birthday. She left her home at 4 p.m. in order to serve at her church. But when she didn't return by 7 p.m., her mother knew something was very wrong because she was always punctual. Her mother was so worried, she called the police. The next morning, several people were walking through a field when they noticed in the middle of the field what looked like someone lying in the field. As they walked closer, they realized it was the lifeless body of a teenager. Although she had a shirt on, she was naked from the waist down. And when they walked around to observe her face, it was the stuff of nightmares. Half of her face was missing. Not only was the skin gone, but also the muscles of her face. Her skull bone exposed with an eyeball still hanging from the socket. They quickly called authorities. Christine still wore the burgundy shirt she had went to church in, but she was laying on top of her jeans that were inside out, a sign that someone had jerked them from her legs. When the autopsy was done, it was learned that she had been SA, as there had been blood in her private area. Christine had 30 stab wounds, 20 in the body, 9 in both arms, and 1 in the middle of her neck. Before she died, acid was poured on her face, which started melting her flesh, and then the rest was carved off with a pair of scissors. The perpetrator also took out the anterior or frontal part of her neck and extracted the trachea, tongue, esophagus, right neck muscle, and right ear. They were all missing from the crime scene. Deep rope marks on her wrist indicated that she was tied and she struggled to set herself free. A handprint was visible on the side of her neck, and she also showed signs of being strangled with the rope. Unfortunately for Christine's family and friends, her picture of her laying in that field like that was shown on the internet worldwide and can actually still be found on the internet for Christine's family to still have to see, which is really sad because it is very horrific images of this young, once beautiful little girl. It was thought that the acid was poured on her face when she was still alive. Witnesses would later say they had seen Christine with 3 men the evening before her murder. Rumors began to spread about it being a ritualistic killing. Authorities were considering the probability that the suspects may be members of a cult based in the hinterland village of Danao City called the Cannibal Cult. The community was spooked, especially the farmer Trinidad Vatican, who had been deaf and mute, had been killed and skinned much the same way as Christine. In his case, his entire face and part of his chest were skinned to the bone and his heart was removed. The cannibal cult was believed to be operating in the mountains near Danao City. So they headed to the mountains to search for the 3 men that were connected to possibly now 2 brutal murders. Authorities said allegedly the cannibal cult would dismember the muscles of their victims and then consume it. 3 brothers, John Ray, Juvie, and Jonas Bueno, were identified as suspects. They were said to have founded the cannibal cult after leaving the communist New People's Army. Members of the cult reportedly wore demonic tattoos. John Ray and Juvie were killed during the attempt to arrest them, while Jonas was able to escape. They were able to arrest Jonas on March 15th, 5 days after Christine's murder. He denied the murder of Christine, but admitted killing the farmer. He admitted him and his brothers ate the flesh that they kept from the farmer's face and chest, as well as his heart. It was proven by Jonas's family that he had an alibi the day of Christine's murder. The authorities then began to suspect Christine's ex-boyfriend John of her murder. Christine and John were dating since 2018 and seemed happy. However, as minor arguments grew and occurred more frequently, Christine became increasingly despondent. He became the prime suspect because Christine broke up with him just 10 days before her death. The police was looking at jealousy as the possible motive. Detectives surmised John spotted Christine with one of his friends and became jealous. An argument broke out and they each said some regretful words, neither where they were being recorded by CCTV. They seized John's phone and looked at the conversations the two made on Facebook Messenger as well. And based on those clues, and also because of some suspicious messages that were deleted, John was arrested at his home. It showed 17-year-old John and Christine had planned to meet up on March 10th, the day she was murdered. But the investigation was made difficult when the relatives of John said he had an alibi. John's mother claimed that her son was playing basketball with his friends and doing household chores on the day of her murder. The suspect's mother added that her son would have been on the run if he had committed the murder. What's more, it was John himself who answered the door when the police came to the family's house with an arrest warrant. John had been seen on CCTV footage leaving the church with Christine, but he states he stopped to use the restroom, and when he came back out, she was gone. So he just went and played basketball with his friends. He assumed she walked home alone, but it was soon realized that Christine had another boyfriend. But unlike John, this boyfriend was a hidden boyfriend. And because Christine was being catfished, the identity of this new boyfriend was even hidden from her. The online Facebook account had a profile picture of a good-looking 17-year-old guy named CJ Diaz. He had many of the same likes as Christine. He listened to the same music, especially the Bangtown Boys, which she was a huge fan, and even watched the same anime as her. CJ had sent Christine a Facebook message shortly before her murder. He asked if they could meet each other the same night as her murder. They had planned to meet up after she left church that Sunday evening. What she would soon learn is that CJ was a 43-year-old predator who had become obsessed with her. The creepy 43-year-old thought she had never had a boyfriend before and he could take her innocence. Renato Yanez was a 43-year-old father of 5 children who was living with his now girlfriend. And he used this fake account of CJ to attract Christine's attention. He also had 2 other dummy Facebook accounts. Reinhardt Yanez, his supposed sister, who promised the victim a teddy bear and cell phone as a gift, and Marilyn Dela Cruz, a lady vouching for CJ Diaz. The two have been actively communicating through Facebook for about 4 to 6 months before they made plans to meet up. Authorities were able to find CCTV footage of Renato walking with Christine. He was arrested and immediately began confessing. Although witnesses allegedly seen 3 men with Christine, Renato claimed he was the only one that had murdered her. When they finally met on March 9th at the Sacred Heart of Jesus Parish Church grounds, Renato identified himself as CJ Diaz, which shocked Christine because he was nowhere near the picture he posted on Facebook. He stated a challenge that was on YouTube led him to actually peeling the face off of Christine. This challenge on YouTube, that due to it being the word banned by YouTube, I cannot name it. But on this challenge, commonly was seen on YouTube, in the middle of YouTube videos that often catered to children. Supposedly anonymous strangers on the internet would give children a series of increasingly disturbing instructions. It would show this creepy image to children when it gave you the instructions. and as extremely creepy of a bird-like lady. Renato claimed this image was what he was trying to make his victim look like. He also stated by watching videos online, he was able to learn how to skin an individual's face. He claimed Christine became upset when she realized he was not CJ. Renato also said he was upset when he seen Christine walking with her boyfriend John before they met up, and he realized she wasn't as innocent as she had claimed. Christine was upset about being catfished and began to walk away from Renato. He began chasing her because she refused to get intimate with him. She ran from him, but he ran faster, catching her in the vacant field, where he began stabbing her with scissors that he had in his bag. He admitted to peeling her face back, but never admitted to using acid. He then took Christine's bag after attempting to essay her. He grabbed the parts he had cut off and on the walk to his home discarded her bag and skinned face in the bushes. The organs were never found. He then went and cleaned himself up at a well before meeting his friends at home for a few drinks. Later, the scissors were found in Renato's possession with Christine's DNA on them. Although he admitted to the crime, repeatedly saying that he was the only one who had murdered Christine, he pled not guilty in court. Before trial, Renato was found in the latrine area of his cell on May 24th. He had used a shirt that had been cut up and braided to tie around his neck. Authorities said case closed, but many in the community and Christine's family and friends say it should not have been closed. After they performed a second autopsy on Christine, the ME said it would have taken at least 3 people to have murdered Christine, although it is unclear how he actually came to that conclusion. Christine's mom still believes the ex-boyfriend was involved. 3 suspects repeatedly come up in this case. There were 3 dummy Facebook accounts connected to the case. The ME stated it would have taken at least 3 people to have murdered Christine, and the many witnesses that had came forward saying that they had seen 3 men with Christine the evening of her murder. What happened to her tongue, trachea, esophagus, and right ear? We may never know. Could it be linked back to the cannibal cult? Was it linked to the ex-boyfriend's jealousy? Or was it the work of an obsessed 43-year-old predator? We most likely will never know what truly happened to beautiful Christine Silawan on the evening of March 10, 2019. But according to authorities, the case is closed. What do you believe is the true story of what occurred this evening? Was Renato the only guilty man in this murder, or did he have help? Rest in peace, sweet Christine. All right, guys, that is it from the murder she said, besides a few bloopers from Simon, so you guys don't stay sad. He always has a way of making everyone happy. And here he is, making me happy anyway. And Max is laying behind us. Anyway, I love y'all, and y'all have a great day. Bye. I will bring you rarely told true crime all the time right here in my she shed. Yeah, and I like to rhyme. Sorry. But don't think of that as a negative. I don't always do that, but I do like to do it occasionally. 2 brutal murders. It's his family that he had an alibi, though, the day of Christine's murder. Mother, may I? Get it wrong every time. He became the prime especially the Bangtown boy. Oh my, here's fun coming. There's fun coming. Yeah, an honorary fun. Hey, Poops. What you doing? You want to stay here a minute and enjoy our time together? You gotta sit. You gotta sit, Bubba. You gotta sit, Bubba. Ah! There goes my ear things. Ouch, that hurts when he jerks them out. Okay, yeah. I think he knocked my whole thing. Oh, goodness. Oh, my. It's Simon happening again, over and over again. I'm trying to, you're tearing everything up again. I know oh my, I'm getting there. I'm sorry, y'all. Really, I'm not growing a tail behind me? That's Simon. So it looks like I have a tail. I really don't. He posted on Facebook. Sorry. The word banned by YouTube, I cannot name it. How much better got on me now? Jerk my, oh my. Now, sit down. I can't record it. You don't sit down. Gotta be nice sometimes. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Bye. See you later. Hope y'all have a better day than I'm having so far. No, current weekend. Bye.
In spring's final flower, when this life becomes ugly and cold, when death comes upon me like an eviction notice, leaving my soul without a home, I'll be sure to haunt your